Hey YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Sean Austin here again from Sean's Origin Aquaponic Produce, and we're back with another rabbit farming video for you guys today. Now last week we spoke about feed management. We're continuing our series on sustainability today, and today we're going to be talking about water management. So stay tuned for more. We'll be right back after this. Okay guys, we're back. Today we're talking about water management. Now, we know that it's extremely important that rabbits always have a steady supply of clean drinking water. Rabbits specifically, I know that unless they have a ready supply of water, they don't eat much. And if they don't eat, then it's counterproductive to everything you're trying to do. So you have to always ensure that your rabbits have a steady supply of clean drinking water. And that is even more so important for your does, especially ones that are nursing. They're gonna need a lot of water to help them maintain healthy circulatory system and all of that good stuff, healthy digestion, to be able to supply more milk for their kids. So if they don't have a steady supply of water, again, it's going to be counterproductive to your efforts. So water is life as far as rabbits are concerned. On the other hand, a significant amount of water will always be used for sanitation. Poor sanitation will lead to a whole host of other problems, health problems and others, that you don't really want in your rabbitry, because as long as you have health issues with your rabbits, they're not going to grow properly, they're not going to reproduce properly, and that's something that's easily mitigated by always keeping their surroundings clean and sanitized. Okay, so having said that, our focus is to try and be more sustainable. This is a resource that we must use, but we have to look at ways to mitigate some of the cost of using this expensive resource, I have to say, because in most, I don't know about in most other countries, but here in Trinidad and Tobago, we pay a hefty sum for pipe-borne water that comes directly to your house. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that our pipe-borne water is drinkable. Okay, I think we are one of the highest water standards in the world when it comes to pipe-borne water. You know, our water is treated to a very high level, so it's drinkable straight from the tap. But as a result of that, we have to pay for that extra treatment. So the cost of pipe-borne water can be a bit high, and seen as it's something that you have to use, it's a cost that you can hardly avoid unless you have some really good alternatives. Now, as far as rabbit farming is concerned, a couple things that you can begin to do is to catch rainwater or to use groundwater. Okay, now the former is easier, right? As long as you have enough rainfall in your area, you can catch and collect rainwater for use in your rabbitry for drinking as well as for sanitation. Of course, if you're gonna catch and collect, you need to invest a bit of money, because you're gonna have to buy tanks for storage, and you're gonna need some type of guttering and stuff like that for catchment, and to guide that water down to your water tank. Okay, so some investment would be required up front, but I think that would be a one-time cost, and then after that you can go forward utilizing your rainwater. Now, this is a good solution, but we also have to keep in mind, like most other places in the world, here in Trinidad and Tobago, we have a wet season and a dry season. Now, during the dry season, we could go for months without any rainfall at all. So that is going to negate your plan to collect rainwater. So again, it's a good option, but it can't be your only option, you know, unless of course you live in an area where there's no pipe-borne water and you don't have a choice but to depend on rainwater. Okay, then it's even more important to invest in tanks and gutterings and stuff like that to be able to collect as much of that rainwater whenever rain falls. And if that is your situation, then it's an even higher priority to conserve its usage. You can't afford to be wasting water, you know, on unnecessary things, because it's a vital resource and you have to protect it for you as well as your livestock. I can recall sometimes in past years gone, when the dry season was very long and harsh and our water reserves were depleted and we had no choice but to buy water to refill our tanks. I think you pay for truck-borne water, pay a certain amount of money for a water tanker to come to your home and refill your tanks for you. And we had to do that because we had absolutely no water. And we can of course buy bottled water for drinking, for our personal use, but for the animals, that wouldn't have been sustainable at all. So we had no choice but to buy truck-borne water to refill our tanks, so that to ensure that our rabbits had water to drink. Okay, now that is our extreme case, but I know a number of persons would be able to say that they experience that as well, because it's quite common here in Trinidad in the dry season, or Trinidad and Tobago in the dry season, because our dry season sometimes can be very long and harsh. We'll come back to that in a while. Now, the safer option, I think, is to invest in groundwater. Now, you have a number of options where that is concerned. You can either dig earthen ponds to collect groundwater, or you can dig wells where you can pump water out. Having said that, it is important that before you do any digging, that you familiarize yourself with the laws of your area specifically, right? Because the laws may vary from place to place, and where groundwater is concerned, there are limits to what you can do. I know here in Trinidad and Tobago, to dig a well, you have to seek permission and go through our water authority here to get permission to dig a well. As far as earthen ponds are concerned, especially in agricultural areas, you're allowed to dig ponds, but I think there's a limit to the depth that you can dig. I don't know the exact figure, but most of the farms in our area, including us, have earthen ponds, because that was a project run by the government years ago to ensure that farmers had water for their livestock. So each farm, they dug a pond of significant size that you will have water for your livestock. But we also personally invested in digging a couple other ponds, because we also used the groundwater for crop irrigation for the field crops that we do. So that is an option that you can utilize as well. I know for a fact there's a chicken farm not too far from me here, and they utilize solely pond water to service their chickens. Right? They have a series of water tanks lined up. They pump the water from the pond to fill the tanks that service the waterers in the chicken pens, and they sanitize the water with chlorine pellets. And that is how they supply water to their chickens. So that is also an option for you in your rabbitry. If you're required to use groundwater, you can get chlorine pellets to sanitize the water, so it's safe for drinking for you and them as well. You may not want to drink the pond water, but you never know how desperate times may become, and it's an option. Plus, you could always invest in some type of filtration system to ensure that the water is clean of any silt and things like that. But where rabbits are concerned, for the most part, the water comes clean from the pond, and maybe just for the purpose of any bacteria or anything like that, you could sanitize the water. So that is the option that most of the farms in our area have been utilizing over the past few years. Of course, if you are going to do it on your own from your personal investment, it's going to take a bit of money to do. I don't want to discourage you, right? Because I think it's a really good investment. But to get the equipment to come to your property personally to dig a pond for you will cost you a significant amount of change. I think the going rate right now, at least what I heard from other farmers, is somewhere in the range of $6,000 and $12,000 TT dollars, which is somewhere in the range of 1,000 something or 2,000 plus US dollars. You know, so it's gonna be a significant investment, but if you can get it done, it's something that's gonna benefit you in the long term. And I think the cost to dig a well is even more significant. One of the neighboring farms here, they installed a couple wells in recent time there, and I think it was a significant cost, somewhere in the range of 40,000 TT dollars or something like that. So it's ridiculous, but again, it's an option that you can explore. Now, regardless of the source of your water, water is a vital resource, and if you're going to be sustainable, you have to be able to conserve as much of that water as you can to reduce your cost. As far as your rabbits are concerned, there isn't really much you can do in the department of sanitation, because I don't want to stress how important, no, I have to stress on how important sanitation really is within your rabbitry. That's not an area where you want to really try to cut back too much, you know, of course within reason. Okay, if you are accustomed to opening the tap with a hose to wash down all the manure within your pen, you might probably want to try sweeping up all the manure first and removing it, and then washing down with the hose. So it's going to be quicker as far as the water usage is concerned. You're going to use a lot less water, because the whole point is to conserve on your water. Because remember guys, even though you're not using pipe-borne water, if you're using groundwater from your open pond, there's also a limit to that as well, because we have seen in the past that even the open ponds ran dry. We were using it to do crop irrigation, and we had to abandon certain crops because we just didn't have enough water to water them. Okay, you have to remember too that apart from your usage of it, there's a high level of evaporation taking place because of the extreme temperatures here during the dry season. So you want to conserve the usage of that water as much as possible. But where drinking is concerned for your rabbits, I think the best option, of course, is to invest in automatic watering systems. Alright, we've seen that automatic watering systems do save water. You have a lot less wastage than if you use bowls and crocks and things like that. You know, the rabbits are always gonna urinate in them, they're gonna toss them over, they do all sorts of things, they lie down in the bowls. Apart from wasting the water, it's a constant chore to have to empty and refill these bowls every day, which also wastes water, you know. So definitely try to invest in some type of automatic watering system so that they can safely drink water without much wastage. And like I said before, due to the cost of pipe-borne water, if that is your only option, then you definitely should look at using an automatic watering system to save as much water as possible. Not sure if I left anything out. If you guys could think of any other ways to be more sustainable with your water usage, drop a comment below, let me know, right? So everyone else can benefit from the information as well. Let me know how you go about utilizing your water. Yeah, let me know what is the source of your water so that we could all benefit from the information that we share. So we're gonna leave it there for today, guys. I think next week's video we're gonna be talking about waste management. So until then, if you found this video useful, please hit the like button. Let YouTube know that you like our content so that the algorithm will share it with other persons. Okay, if it's your first time pulling up, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the little bell so you'll get notifications whenever we upload new content. Again guys, thanks for tuning in. Love having you all with us. We hope that every time we do a video that you find it useful and beneficial. Also, if there are any specific topics that you don't think we've ever touched on and you'd like us to do a video on it or talk about it in one of our upcoming videos, please leave a comment below and let me know, and we'll work on that for you. So, having said that, Sean Austin, on behalf of my business partner Sean McLean, we look forward to seeing you guys next week. Please God, only bring you a brand new rabbit farming video. Until then, peace.